unwrapped packet of tissues. The latest in a series that would, should you have...
So, such huge expectations for this day. Or yesterday. I was going to film like all this content, and then no. But I just wanted to share with you, like I said, the bag situation. I did bring a Gucci. When I got here, I was like had to search through it for my ID, and I realized this thing can carry a lot of junk. So certain personal products will be removed. I think we all know what those are. But anyway, yeah, it's just full. Now I took out some of my staples because I am using my mini pochette, and I just want to share with you how I use my mini pochette when I travel. I'm getting ready to go to the pool, and because of that, I have, massive glasses, but that's not the point. The point is, something I realized last night, I was FaceTiming with my daughter in the car, like as I was driving, and I had my Maps app open. If you are FaceTiming, Maps doesn't read the driving directions to you. So I had to hang up with her because I can't see at night. I can't see the screen for like the next driving direction. And y'all, I have like the big phone. Like I should be able to see the name of the next street, but I couldn't. So that made me really sad. So I've had this thing now for the past couple of months, probably since summer, where I realized my distance vision is better without prescription, and my close vision is just awful. Like I can't see anything close. Even with my prescription, it's a little funky. So I ended up getting these at the, office supply store, I think. And they have clear window glass up here, and then down here, they have like 2 times magnification so that I could wear them and see the television and see in front of me, but then also see, like now I can see the screen. Oof. There's this mirror in the bathroom. It is like super expanded, like magnified, and oh my goodness, like nothing will give you trauma like seeing yourself in that level of magnification. And I didn't even bring all of my makeup. I just brought basic stuff. Ugh, the horror. Anyway. Here is my mini pochette, and she is getting ready to be packed to go to the pool in 10 minutes. 10 minutes I can go to the pool. Probably should put on my swimsuit if I'm gonna go to the pool. But anyway, so when I have her packed, look, I have my hotel room key here, and then I never did take out all of my, like this is essentially like wallet-y stuff that is not in a wallet. It's coupons and photos and gift cards and Band-Aids. It's stuff that most people would maybe keep in their wallet, but I'm going to keep that in. I have my ride or die eyeliner because we've talked about the eyelash situation. My eye drops, I had to, these are almost empty. That's kind of sad. But I have a little mini eye drops here because my eyes get really dry at night. My AirPods, because the way I swim, right? I don't put my head under, and then I listen to my audiobooks. So that's the biggest change. My hair tie, because actually, I don't really need this. I have a hair clip. I'm not going to use the hair tie. I'm going to save the hair tie because you always need a hair tie. Medication, I've been having issues with migraines, especially when I travel. Thank goodness for, that's the other thing. So last night, I could not find food anywhere. I was looking, anyway, it's just like what is this? Oh, Benadryl. I always have Benadryl with me because my husband has allergies, my daughter has allergies, but this isn't the children's Benadryl. I think this is just like the regular Benadryl. I think it's only like 1 pill too. But I always have Benadryl just in case somebody needs it, I guess. I don't know. I think it's just good to have. I feel like there was a situation where we needed Benadryl and I didn't have it. So anyway, my point is that I have some of these little ones too. That's cute. Okay. I was driving around looking for food last night. I was really desperate because I just wanted fast food. The door to get in here is super sketchy. I don't even know how to explain it other than it's super sketchy. there's like an outer door, and then that door could close with a lock. And then there are 2 doors. I'll have to film it on my way out. And then there are 2 doors, one for my room and then one for the room next door. And I'm like, this is just weird. Like someone could bang closed that outer door and then it's just so weird. And like force you into a room or something. It's just, I was like, what were they thinking when they built this? So I just wanted to get in my room, and my car is parked. It's this particular wing is almost right around the back of like the loading dock of the whole hotel. So again, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really sketchy. I don't necessarily want to be like, I don't want to be going in and out. So as soon as I found my room, because every time I've stayed here before, I've been on the other side of the entire hotel. So as soon as we found the room, or I found the room because there's no we, I was on the phone FaceTiming with my daughter, which was so good because I felt a little bit safer. There were people wandering around all the time. It wasn't late. It was like 6 o'clock, but it was dark. And so I'm like, I'm going to get food. So I found Gelson's, and I remembered that years ago when I was staying at a different hotel in the area, but I was also by myself, I went to that Gelson's and I got alcohol. And I was so proud of myself. I'm like, here I am, I'm back again. And I got a roast beef sandwich and a Coke Zero. That's what I got. It was a really good roast beef sandwich. But just the lack of, I was looking for a McDonald's or a Burger King, like something, like a big treat for myself. But no, but the roast beef sandwich was a big treat for myself. And then just having that flashback of like, I've been here before and I did not buy any alcohol. I mean, I wasn't planning, you know what I mean? But still, like, I feel like that's a huge, like, go me. I was very proud of myself. So then I came back, I FaceTimed with my daughter the whole night, and I was in bed, I think I was falling asleep by 9 o'clock because that just took everything out of me. I worked all day. I swam in the morning, and then I went to work. I worked all day. I left directly from work, and then I was on the road for 3 hours. And so I didn't get here until 6. Then there was the whole thing about getting food. And so I didn't really get in my room. I ate my dinner at 7:30. So I was like really tired. And that was it. That was the end of but now it is 8 o'clock. Well, it's 7:53. And I'm going to go to the pool. There's a big pool here in front of in front of my room. And then there's a cute little pool around where we stayed before. I don't know which one I'm going to go to. I would like to go to the cute little pool because it's just calm and cute, but it is further away. And do I want to make that walk back when it's like, I think it's 53 degrees outside and I'm wet? I don't know. But I have to be on the road from here at 9 o'clock to get to my conference. So we're just going to, yeah. yet again, I am late on posting. I had such high hopes for this week. Well, it wasn't weekend. It was week. It was last week. I'm behind. I'm all over the place. But I had really high hopes because I was going to a conference by myself out of town, and I thought, this is the perfect opportunity for me to like even batch film a whole bunch of content. I could bring different bags. Maybe I could go to the outlets and like look at bags. I could, you know, talk to the camera a little bit more. This was going to be my moment to film a whole bunch of stuff because I don't have a lot of time to film content. And it did not work out as I had planned. So first off, it took me way longer to get to my destination, which is not really the point that I'm trying to make. I'm just saying life happens. And if you are a working professional and you don't live alone, you have a family, and that family isn't part of your YouTube channel, I think that that is a huge reason why you don't see a lot of women, particularly my age, in that 45 to 55 category, who are filming content, because your family either has to support it or it has to be kind of like a family vlogging experience, like one of those challenge shows, you know, like we're all gonna try the mystery drink. Here's our reaction. That's not me. That's not my family. That's not who we are. It's not anything that we were ever interested in pursuing. Even when my daughter was very young, it's just my husband wants nothing to do with social media and or YouTube or any of that. And my daughter, she has sometimes where she really likes it. She wants to be Salish Matter, but she doesn't want to put in the time and effort. And it's not one of those things that you can kind of do, you know, 1 week yes, 1 week no, because it's, you know, you kind of have to go with your thing. And I am not a challenge person. I'm not over the top. I'm not crazy. I don't yell and scream. It's just not who I am. So that really doesn't leave a lot of room in that particular space for somebody like me or for people like us. And so that never really panned out. It wasn't something that we thought about doing. So if you're a single woman living alone, you have unlimited time. You're not sharing space with your family. You're not, you know, trying to make videos like who's home, where do I need to be, what's going on, you know. And so that was my intent when I was going away. I was like, well, I can kill two birds with one stone. I'm going away for work, and then I can film a whole bunch of stuff when I actually have some time alone. Bunch of different things happen. One, life is way more complicated than just like, I'm going to drive to the hotel and it's going to be great. It took me a lot longer than I had thought or anticipated to get there. I hit traffic. I didn't get there until pretty late. When I did, I was looking for food. And there was really nowhere to eat. It was kind of crazy, and I didn't want to do room service. I think I explained that. And then my daughter's FaceTiming me. She's, you know, asking me questions about homework, and she wants to stay on the phone with me. And I'm going to enjoy every moment of this, right? But then obviously that's me talking to her and giving her my full attention and not being able to film content. So there's that. So life happens. I don't think people really want to see me going to a conference, number one. Number two, when people are presenting at conferences, as you know, I get to do every now and again, as people are presenting at conferences, that's intellectual property rights. And you can't be filming them and then putting that out on YouTube, because that is their thing. Like, that's their presentation. They need to be given credit for that. And if you want people to come to conferences, you're going to have original content, and that content needs to stay within the confines of the conference. So there was that. Like, I had no time to do that. And then this is technically vacation, but I'm again running around and trying to get stuff done, and I'm trying to clean the house. No one is coming over for Thanksgiving. But I still need to clean up, because my daughter's always like, can I have a play date? Can I have friends over? And I'm like, no, the house is a mess. So I'm trying to get everything cleaned up and looking presentable. So things that I've learned about YouTube are this. One, it is time consuming in the sense if you have other obligations. I think if you had a full-time job and you were a single human being, I think it would work out. Or if you're a full-time student and you're a single human being, it's definitely going to be a lot easier. If you have a family and it's not like YouTube is your job or you're trying to make your family part of that YouTube channel, I think it's definitely challenging. So my daughter is at an event with some friends. She's, oh gosh, when do I pick her up? Okay, I pick her up in like an hour and my husband went on a walk. So now I have the house to myself. I should be cleaning, but here I am doing this, which is fine. But this is literally the first moment I've had to be in this space because this is technically like my husband's office. So it's a small house. I don't have room. There's nothing going on in the background. People aren't yelling or screaming or playing Roblox. You know, it's just, it is. So I think that that's something that I've definitely learned. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you have a family, you need to carve out some time or try to get your family to understand that you need some time in order to actually film content. Because otherwise it gets frustrating and really difficult. So that's something I've discovered. Like you need a quiet space, you need time, and that's not always available. That's the first thing. Second thing, I've heard people say, you know, you need to be consistent, you need to be consistent, you need to be consistent. I have been consistent for about 2 years now. And did I get more followers? Well, yeah, I maybe got 100, but nothing blew up. I don't think consistency really was the key. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think posting for the longest time, it was the same day at the same time, once a week. And I would say that there was very negligible growth because of that. I don't see that. I think it's luck, honestly. I think it's a lot of luck, but consistency is probably good. But no, I don't think if you can't, you know, if you're trying to break into this and you can't post at the same time, at the same date, don't let it discourage you. Post when you can and get it out there. But the fact that you're not same time, same day, every single week, I didn't see that massive growth that everybody says that you need to have, or, you know, that's going to happen if you just post all the time at the same time. So there's that. Third thing that I've learned is that carrying a camera is not really a necessity. I have a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I also have a Go Ultra, but carrying a camera is not something that even as a vlogger, I do every day. And, or you're like, well, that's why your channel. No, it's not. Because, you know, what are you trying to accomplish when you're out there? If you're one of those people that wants to film from afar, you know, you looking at things in the supermarket or pulling things off the shelf, then yeah, maybe you do want to have you do want to have an external camera, but it's not really necessary. I personally don't really like watching that. If I'm watching someone's vlog and they're out just like grocery shopping or cleaning or doing any kind of like at-home task, I just sort of fast forward through that because I want to hear them talk. I don't really want to I don't want to watch the montage of cleaning because I was just cleaning and it's not very exciting when I do it. And that's just me. I don't watch sports either. I would like to play sports. I like to exercise, but I don't like to watch other people doing it. So maybe that's just a me thing. But even if like you're just starting out, you really don't need another camera. Your iPhone camera is very, very good. And it makes it a lot easier for somebody starting out just to use your iPhone because you don't have to transport the video and you don't have to take it, you know, from one camera to the other. And it's a little thing, but it is a hang up. Like start with what you've got and use what you've got. And an iPhone, for everyone out there saying like, I need a new digital camera and I want my pictures to look like this. And just use what you have. What you have is actually really good, and use it and make the most of it. You don't need to go out and buy another camera. I happen to like cameras. I like bags. I think it's very interesting, but you don't need that. If I could only choose one camera, I would probably go with the Insta360 Ultra, because it has the waterproof component, it has the flip up screen. I will put a picture of it somewhere over here. I could just run into the other room and get it, but I'm being lazy and I'm like crunched for time. So there's that. I don't necessarily think you need all of the cameras that I happened to purchase. They're nice, it's great, it's a nice little hobby, but I don't take them with me on the daily. Matter of fact, I've really tried to be very conscious of packing for the day that I'm going to have and not the day that I might have. And what that means to me is packing the things that I'm going to need for the specific day that I'm going to have. If I'm not going to be out all day, I don't need an external battery. If I'm not going to be in a place where I am going to have downtime, I don't need my Kindle. I don't need my entire makeup routine in my bag. I need things that, like, I need one eyeliner and some lip products. Not 20 lip products, but a few lip products. I don't need blush. I'm fine, I don't need concealer. I'm good. Like, I don't need to reapply those things throughout the day. So I'm really trying to be cognizant of like, well, if I'm going to be out for the entire day, these are the things I need. And if I'm not going to be out for the entire day, these are the things I need. And I feel like every time I bring another camera into the mix, I'm kind of cursing the world. Like, why did I bring this? Because it does add weight and it's something else that you have to carry. And I very rarely pluck it out of my bag to use it when I can just pick up my phone, which is right there. And oftentimes I would rather have an external battery than a camera. So be cognizant of like what it is that you need and you want to bring with you. If you're fine with carrying a big bag to an all-day event, then yeah, I mean, I guess a camera is not going to hurt, like if that's something that you want to bring. But if I'm going to be spending the day at the beach, I don't know that I actually need another camera. I have my phone. If I'm going to spend the day at the aquarium, I don't need another camera. My phone is right there and I just want easy. Easy is the key. And so when you start your channel with what you have, and then if you feel that you need something else, I definitely feel like when it comes to this talking head thing, yeah, I definitely use another camera all the time. Could I use my phone? Well, yeah, but I like this. This is what I like. So talking head DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is perfect, but out and about, I take the Ultra, and I would only take that if I'm going on a trip. I took it on the trip to Palm Springs and I used it in the hotel room. But when it came time, I took it to the pool that one time, just the camera body. But when it came time to go to the conference, or I didn't bring it with me, just saying. Even the cat cafe, some of that footage is from the camera sitting down on the floor. And then some of that footage is just from my phone. And I don't see a huge difference. So that's something else to keep in mind. So those are the things that I've my little wisdom, because I know everyone comes here to talk about bags. But again, like I said, the sustainability of being able to purchase new bags, to talk about new bags is really difficult. Goes back to that whole working thing. And I felt like I wish someone would say these things. Like everyone is like, oh, consistency is key and you have to find your niche and it has to be people that, there are not too many of them out there. And I'm like, I don't see anybody out there that's like my age doing what I'm doing. And no, that hasn't brought like huge growth. I mean, look, there's a difference between I'm not complaining, and I don't want that to sound like, why hasn't my channel grown? I think everyone should have a channel. I think everyone should create. I think everyone should put out there, even if you have 5 subscribers, who cares? Just do something. If you're interested in it, just do it, because you never want to be that person's like, oh, I wish I would have tried that. And in my opinion, trying is half of success. And success is how you define it. So the fact that I'm out there and I'm trying makes me successful. You can disagree. That's fine. You don't have to put it in the comments. I'm cool. But that's the way I define success. Like, you try it and you're doing it. I'm doing it. And so I think that everybody should, if you have the interest, you should do it. But I do wish that somebody would have said these things to me, because I think I purchased cameras a little bit too early. I think that I tried to carry a camera with me to different places and I just ended up getting really frustrated. And then I didn't want to film as much because I'm like, damn, cameras, damn, my bag, and it's heavy, and now I have to charge it, and why? There's no reason for that. And then, the idea that you're going to have all of this time to do it, again, it's like, well, take into consideration the feelings of others. You can't, there are certain places that you don't want to film because you don't want to film other people. You want to blur out their faces. And then if your family, if that's not their thing, then you don't want to put them like, we are going to have a YouTube channel as a family. No, you really have to be cognizant of other people's feelings. Does my daughter necessarily want to be on YouTube, as a elementary school student when she's in high school, right? Like, I've always thought of that. Like, she's here and you see her limitedly, but how much of a digital footprint it should be her choice when she is allowed to have social media, which isn't now, but it should be her choice what she presents to the world. And anyway, so there's that. And so these are the things that I just wish people would have said. And the whole thing about consistency, I just feel is way overblown. And I see it again and again and again. And the reason I watch those videos is because part of my job as a teacher is I have some students that are in a business academy and I help them with their marketing. So I do watch like a lot of marketing videos. It's not necessarily for me. It's more like, well, this is what I want to tell them and these are the things that I want to present to them. So that's just, and being at the conference and thinking I was going to have all of this time and having these grandiose plans was really an eye-opener for me. So you saw at the very beginning, like, this is sort of what I was doing. And then this is where I ended up. Other things on the docket, other things I want to talk about just ever so slightly. I put this on TikTok, but it wasn't really, it wasn't well received. Something else you should know, people will be mean. You, like, as a high school teacher, you think you get it, but high schoolers are a little bit more savvy. They don't really say mean things to your face. They probably say them behind your back. And so it's definitely, or maybe they just don't, maybe I just have really great kids, who knows. But sometimes my daughter's friends will say things that you go, oh, okay. It was Halloween-ish time and I was helping one of her friends take off her Halloween makeup and she had on some eyeliner-y stuff still. I was like, oh, that looks really cute. You could just leave that on and, we can go and go into the restaurant and you look good. And she looks at me and she's like, I'm not going to take advice from a little old lady. I was like, okay, well, yeah, things we don't say if we want to get ahead in life. But online, you do encounter people that will say that like directly to your face. And so just be prepared for that. But this brings me back to the thing. I was toying with the idea of growing my bangs longer and making them kind of side bangs instead of more straight across. Just if you have anything constructive to say, okay, let's just go through it. One, yeah, I'm old. Okay, I get it. Somebody on TikTok was like, you're so old, who would care? I'm like, what is it with people calling me old? I get it, but you don't have to say it out loud. Like, you could just leave it alone, it's okay. I've had people say like, oh yeah, either way is fine, or I prefer this or that. I don't know, I've had bangs literally for at least 10 years since my daughter was born. And I am just sort of like, well, maybe, I get it, the forehead wrinkles, and it's probably way worse if I don't have all this bright light in front of me. I'm sitting in front, you can see it behind me. I'm sitting in front of these windows and the windows act as like studio lights, right? Like it's the same This is why you have so many bright lights when you're on television, just to wipe out. And my camera has a like filtery thing going on. So trust me, I look 10 times worse in real life. But, you know, it's just, I was like, well, maybe something different while I, you know, maybe still could, and then bring the bangs back when I turn 60. I don't know. It's just something I was toying around with. I'm not entirely sure what, but if you have any thoughts or any, you know, advice. Also, my daughter, who has been pursuing the whole acting thing a little bit, kind of. She has an agent. She's been going on auditions. She doesn't put in the time and effort. She just takes it all for granted and then wonders why she doesn't get things. And I was like, I try to give her advice. Like, if you work hard, you know, if you practice, one of her friends, two of her friends, have just booked like pretty big things. And she's very jealous and she doesn't want to talk about it. And I said, well, it's because they practice. They go to acting classes and they practice. And she doesn't want to hear that. So she said to me the other day in the car, she's like, well, why don't you do acting anymore? And I was like, well, so many reasons. One, I can't act. Like, I really am not very good at it. Two, time. I mean, if I don't really have time for the YouTube channel, when am I going to film auditions? And it used to be like at the very tail end when I was just doing like the voiceover stuff, it was just, even then you had to go into the booth. I went into the booth for every single audition. So that was quite the drive from where I work to downtown LA, from downtown LA back home, because it was like a triangle. Anyway, but now since COVID, everything is done online. I've always paid my SAG-AFTRA dues. Just, yeah, why not? It's like I don't make any money. So it's just like the baseline dues. I think it's like $120. So there's, you know, I'm still technically a union actor. And she's like, well, why don't you go on the casting sites? I don't have a reel. I don't have a demo tape. I don't have anything. I don't have headshots. I don't have anything anymore. I think my last headshots were actually taken not for acting. They were taken for a Skillshare webinar company that I was working with for ed tech, and they were promoting me on their flyers and on their website. And so that's actually what it was taken for. So it's not even really an acting headshot. But, you know, like I said, advancements in technology. I took her headshots. I'm not a bad photographer. I will say I'm not bad. Could I take my own headshots? I don't know. But I'd be willing to, like, I don't have a reel. I don't really have a resume. I don't think anyone cares what I did back in 2000. 2001. I don't think anyone cares. It looks really sad. But she's like, why don't you put yourself out there on the websites and see? And I was like, So I'm toying around with that idea just for fun. I don't think I would get any auditions because being so inexperienced and being union, that is a weird combination. Most union professionals have a lot more recent experience than me. All union professionals probably have a lot more recent experience than me. But anyway, so those are the, like, kind of the two things I'm interested. Like, if you made it this far in the video and you can answer those two questions, like, you are golden. You're doing better than my students right there. So should I let the bangs grow out, number one? And two, should I just put my resume, headshot and resume, what headshot? I don't know, but I'll find one. No, I have friends that are photographers. I could make this work. There are teachers at school that are photographers. I have yearbook kids that could probably take a headshot for me and put it out there. I don't know. I'm just kind of at a crossroads. But I do, so you saw the Palm Springs, you saw kind of what I was dealing with, and then there's like the little bit of a vlogging. All of that vlogging, no, not all. There were some things, like the underwater was done with the camera, but for the most part, all of my vlogging was done with my phone. And I just think the phone is such a useful tool to have. And I can show you some of the things that I use with my phone. I use CapCut to edit. That's my preferred form of editing. And I have an iPhone 17 Pro Max. So that might take that into account. But that's my spiel for the day. That's all I've got. And I'm 2 days behind. Maybe being 2 days behind, maybe 3 days behind. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get to post this today. Maybe posting on a Wednesday would be like, maybe that's the day. I think it's so funny, like the algorithm and this, it's luck, guys. It's luck. Go out there, create, do your thing, post when you can, be you, and it's totally fine. Don't get caught up in the whole, there's an algorithm and you have to hashtag and put it here and it has to be this way. Just do it and use what you have. And if you want to create, this is your wake up call, create. So that's all I've got. Next week, maybe we'll have something better. Maybe we won't. Maybe I should stop promising that, because there's a good possibility that it's just going to be craziness. And that's okay. It's okay. It's totally fine. But until then, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has time with their friends and family, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.